Hello and welcome everyone to today's live stream. My name is John from WebDev for You. I do these live streams every Monday through Thursday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central, and we cover everything Webflow, from building entire layouts to creating interactions and animations. And I also provide support via the Super Chat feature on YouTube. So if you need help with a personal project or something in Webflow, you can drop a super chat and I can assist with your project. So I can see here that Yvonne has sent a super chat, a very generous super chat. I did get the email, Yvonne. So I do cover super chats at 12:30, a bit after 12:30, after we do some designing in Webflow. So I got the email about HubSpot. I'll see if I can help with that and a few other things within that email. Appreciate the super chat very much. Thank you. And yeah, so we'll definitely take a look at that. And I got the read-only link to your project. Hi, Tazaware. Hello. I'm good. Thank you. How are you? Nice. So today we're going to build this layout here using grid and the Wizardry method. So I looked at this and I thought this would be a good example of creating a website that scales. Because to me, like, using a full width layout and grid and the Wizardry method seems like a good combination. Like before, I wouldn't necessarily approach these type of builds because I usually like creating sites that have containers. And for this type of layout, I don't see it having a container. I just see it being a full width site on desktop. And so for this, I feel like the Wizardry method would work really well because we can scale the entire site on desktop. We don't need to add a container necessarily. And then we can change the layout on tablet. Hello, Eli. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so it should be a fun super chat today. Yeah, and then we'll look at Yvonne's project after we get into building this. So I'll quickly get started. The way I'm going to approach this build is we have, let's see, I want to divide it up into grid sections. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just looking at a grid layout to see like how many columns and rows we should have. So it's looking like we should have, let's see, this is one row, this is another one, so 1, 2, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to do 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 by 4. Let's try that. So I'll go into Webflow. And if you're new to Webflow, if this is your first time watching my live stream, feel free to ask any questions. Sometimes I do dive into like deeper concepts and ideas in Webflow, but I understand that there's new users who just got into Webflow and it can be a bit daunting at first, but I'm here to help if you have any questions initially regarding Webflow. So yeah, let's go ahead and start building. So I like to start all my projects. Well, usually I put all my elements in a page wrapper. So I'll add a div and we'll call this page-wrapper. And then I'll add a div in here and we'll call this hero section. And I'll set the min height for this to 100 VH so it fills the entire viewport. So this site initially on desktop is just going to be 100 viewport. And actually, let me backtrack. Because we're using the Wizardry method, I'm going to go to wizardrytechnique.webflow.io. Let's go to the documentation. And we're just going to clone this project. So we start off with the Wizardry method. So we'll clone it. And then we'll have a style guide to work with. All right, so we have the style guide. Great. If I go to the home page, we're on the home page. The body is set to the 1 VW. So the font size is 1 VW. So we want to set all the units within the site to M's. So I have a whole backlog of working with the Wizardry method, so I'm not gonna cover every little detail about it, but that's the general idea. And Timothy Ricks really describes it well in his documentation. If you go to wizardry-technique.webflow.io, you can get more of a feel of how to use the system. So Jay wrote, why do we use Page Wrapper? So the reason I like using Page Wrapper is because in a case where I want to copy and paste the entire page to another page, I can just copy the page wrapper and then I can paste it onto another page easily. Whereas if I didn't have the page wrapper, I would have to copy and paste individual sections one by one, and it just makes it a bit more difficult. So having a page wrapper and having all the contents in the page wrapper, I can just copy and paste an entire page to a new page anytime I'd like, and it just saves a little bit of time. So yeah, that's a great question, and nice. So yeah, let me create a new page here. I'm gonna create a new page, just create it untitled, and then I'm gonna set this page as the home page. Okay, and then I'm gonna call this style guide and click save. Okay, so we have a blank home page and we can access the style guide here. So right off the bat, let's go ahead and install a new font. So the font that's being used in this Figma file is circular, but we don't have access to circular here. So let's see, where's my site? Yeah, let me close this one because we're not going to use it. So I'm going to use DM Sans for the font. So we'll install DM Sans, and I'll just install all the variations. Great. I'll go back into the designer, and cool. So we have a blank site. And yeah, let me go into the style guide. So let me style all the headings. So all the H1 headings, we're going to set it to DM Sans right here. And DM Sans is probably the closest thing maybe to circular, so I like using it. DM Sans. And notice that I'm styling all the global headings. This will make it really easy to add headings and not have to restyle them. All right, so we have that. And then for the paragraph, let's select the all paragraphs tag and select DM Sans. All right, so cool. And just like that, we've styled pretty much all the typography elements for the site. Nice. All right, let's go back to the home page, and this is where I'll start building out my elements. So again, we're gonna add a div block, and I'll add a page wrapper. And then in here, I'll add a div, or not a div, a section. So we'll add a section, and I'll call this hero-section. Set the min height to 100 VH, so it fills the entire viewport. Yvonne wrote, why not apply the font to the all body tag? Good point, Yvonne. I missed that. And let's do that. I don't think, or maybe, yeah, maybe applying it to the all body would have changed it. Let me see, all H1 headings. Let me remove this. Yeah. That's a great point, Yvonne. Yeah, the only instance I wouldn't do that is if I had different headings, fonts for the headings and paragraphs. But Yvonne makes a really great point where by just applying the font to the body, the all body tag, we don't necessarily need to apply it to the individual headings. So that is a big time saver. Yvonne coming through with the shortcuts or the time savers again. So yeah, definitely listen to Yvonne. He's worked a lot in Webflow. So just a little caveat there. Appreciate it, Yvonne. So let's go to the hero section, and this is where we're going to do the grid. So let me just bring this over here, and we have, so what did I say, 4 columns and 6 rows. So let's go into Webflow. We have the hero section, and I'll set it to grid. Actually, I don't like applying grid to sections, so I'll just call this div hero wrapper, and we'll just set it to position absolute and full, and then I'll set it to grid, and we'll do 4 columns and 6 rows, and we'll remove the gap, and perfect. Okay, so within this grid, I'm going to try to create this layout. So we have a div block up here. So I'm going to say, let's see. So this will be 1 row, or yeah, 1 row. This will be 2 rows, and this will be 3 rows. Oh, thanks, Yvonne. Yeah, I'm happy to help, but I've seen your work, so don't cut yourself too short there. Like, I know you're not cutting yourself short, but like you're good. So I would definitely continue building. Maybe you're like a Webflow savant. I'm gonna call you Yvonne, the Webflow savant. You know, when you start something, you're just really good at it. So anyways, cool. So we have 1 row for that top part. We're gonna add 2 rows here. So I'll add a div block, and we'll call this logo wrapper right there, and then we'll add another div block, and this will be 1, 2, 3. This will be 3, just like that. So we'll call this we'll just call it content or title wrapper. How about that? Title wrapper. And then case study. So we'll add a div block, and this will be, and let's see, 1. Actually, let's see, 1, 2. Okay, case study. Yep, this will work. And next project, and then we'll add a div block, and this will be next project wrapper. Do we have a Discord community for WebDev for you? There currently isn't one. That has been mentioned before. Yeah, it feels like I've gotten a few requests for this already, so maybe I will create one. Yeah, I might have to make it, I know this might not be great, but I might have to make it paid, because if I have to give energy to the Discord server, it's going to take some of my time. So yeah, and I don't know if I want to make it paid. I don't know if I want to do that. So I'm still debating it, but thanks for bringing it up, Jay. Would anybody pay for that? Like, I know it wouldn't be a large amount that I would charge for a Discord server. But yeah, because I'm currently working on a few projects at the moment, and I wouldn't need to monitor the server and manage it and stuff like that. So now that it's been brought up a few times, I'm gonna seriously consider it, because it could be a cool thing where we can all just have access to each other at any time and help each other with Webflow. So definitely thinking about it. All right, let me add another div block here, and this will be this here. So I'm gonna make this 2 rows, and we're gonna say left image wrapper, and we'll add another div over here, and this is gonna be, so let's see, case study. Oh wait, hold on one sec. Case study. I didn't give this a name, so this would be case study wrapper, and let's make it 2 grid cells. Then we have this div block, and this should be, yeah, this should be 2 grid cells. Okay, boom, perfect. All right, and then this big one, so this is going to span all 8 cells, and this is going to be this is going to be slider wrapper. I'm going to make this a slider. Then we'll add another div, and this will be the social wrapper. So right here, I'm gonna call this social wrapper. And then one last one, and this will be video wrapper. Right in here, we'll just span it like this, okay? And I'll say video wrapper. I don't like Telegram so much, so it would be a Discord server, Dylan, if we were to do it. Okay, so let's see. Yeah. So we have that. Now I just need to adjust the grid a little bit. So let's make this a little bit thinner, like that. And then this will be like this. And this will be like this. Maybe like this. Yeah, perfect. All right. Hey, ATRN. Hello, hello. Yeah, the Discord might be like $5 a month or something like that. Because that would make sure that anyone who joins is serious and we don't just have a bunch of just people joining the Discord. But yeah. All right, so yeah, that's looking pretty good. Let's change some of the height as well. So this one, let's make it FR unit. So you can make the rows FR by just clicking on min max and then going back to default. And that's what I'm doing here. And just want to see here. So we have that. Maybe I'll make this 1.5. Make this a little bit larger here. And yeah, I think that's good. All right, so if you notice, like what I'm doing here, maybe this should be a little bit bigger, this top one. So I'll do like something like that. Still want it a little bit taller. Like this. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, CSS grid is really good. Lost my voice there for a sec. So if you're looking at this layout, you see that I'm able to kind of recreate that similar layout here. And just to make it more visually kind of make sense, what I'll do is just grab this green color here, and just to showcase it a bit better, we'll paste that green in here. So we see we have that green, we have the green here, and green here, and green here, right? And I can just change the opacity. I just want to showcase like how the layout's coming out. So if we look at this and we look at this, we can kind of start to visualize how the layout's gonna look like. Okay. And yeah, let's just remove those colors. And one thing I have to do, actually, let me see here for the grid. No, I think we can leave it in FR units. That should still be responsive. So if I scale it, or if we'll have to publish it, but I think it'll be responsive once we scale it. All right, so let me export some of these images from Figma. Let's see. Let me see if I can get inside here. And I want to export this image. So export. Let's see. Did we get the entire image? Let's see. No, we just got that piece. Let's see here. Starting learning UI on Monday. I joined 2 of Kennedy's Crowdcast events and loved his process. Awesome, Yvonne. Yeah, Erik is really cool. I've talked to him personally. Really, really great class, great stuff. Trying to export the entire image and not just ignore overlapping layers. No. Let's see. Group, frame selection. Let me see if I can get this entire image. One second. Okay, well, it's the same image as this, so I'll just export this image without, yeah, I just want the image. There we go. Okay, perfect. All right. So we have this rectangle, and I'll just call it camera image. And we'll export it or import into Webflow. Okay, I'm not going to make this a slider for now because it would take too much time. But yeah, this image is a bit large, but we'll work with that for the moment. But I'll add the background here, choose image, we'll select this image here and set it to cover and center. All right, so we have that image, then I'll add the same image here and we'll set it to right, cover, and right. All right, cool. So we'll work with that. Yeah, this needs a bit more work. It needs to be a bit thinner, I feel. So maybe 0.25. Yeah, that's better. Nice. Then we have this text. Or is that a logo? It's just text. Okay. Let me grab this color for now. So I'll just pick out the easy parts of this build. So we don't spend too much time. So let me add a text block here, and I'll call this next text. And it is 48 pixels. Oh, so we need to use ems. So 1 VW. So let's just take a look. We'll just make it, just kind of eyeball it. Next project. And we'll make it DM sans bold. How about 3? 3 is good. We'll add some padding to this. 30. I hold down shift to change the padding on all sides. And we'll adjust the line height here. All right, so we have that. That looks good. Let's see, so that'll be H1. Yeah, I'll make this an H2 for the case study. So we'll say heading H2, and we'll say case study heading. Maybe let's try some different class naming conventions. So case dash study heading, and we'll set it to white. Say case study, and we'll add a paragraph. Say case dash study underscore paragraph, and we'll make it white. And that looks good. So this white is 50% opacity. have this more about us text here. So it's going to be a link block. And in here we'll add a text block. And we'll say case-study _ about text. And we'll double click more about us. And for the link block, we will say case-study _ link block. And we'll make it white. And that's it. Cool. Then we have this arrow here, so I'm just going to export this arrow. And as SVG, export long arrow right. And drag and drop in there. Awesome. And then I will drag and drop this arrow in here. And for the case study link block, we'll set it to flex. And perfect. And then I'll add some margin to the text. About 20. That looks good. And we will, let's see. So we'll set the position to relative for this case study wrapper. And then for this case study link block, I'll set the position to absolute, lower left. And then we'll do something like, we'll add some padding to this actually, maybe 30. And for this, we'll just move it 30 pixels from the right. And 30 like that. Okay, or let's see. Let me see if there's a better way to do this. If I set the case study wrapper to flex, vertical, and then let me try setting this to static. And I change the alignment. No, that doesn't quite work. So we'll just do position absolute, just like that. And let me add some margin to the bottom here. That looks good. We have this text here that's vertical or aligned vertically. So I'm going to skip that for now because that would take a bit longer. For this paragraph, I'm going to give it a max width of something like, we'll use characters, maybe 42 characters. Yeah, that's okay. Maybe that's still too wide. Let me copy this text. There we go. And we'll say 36 characters. That looks good. Nice. So we have that case study. I can add a bit more padding here, maybe 40. And we'll say 40 from the bottom. And 40 from the right here. And it needs to be M's. I always forget about that. So let's try 1 M or 2 M's. Yeah, so when working with the Wizardry method, we'll do 2.5 M and 2.5 M. I always forget, yeah, when working with the Wizardry method, you want to use M's instead of pixels. So let's say 2 M's. 2 and 1 M. And let's try 0.7 M. There we go. And then for this will be 2.5 M instead of 40. 2.5 M. So 1 M is 1 VW. And that's how we make it responsive basically. 2.5 M, 2.5 M, and 2.5 M. Okay, and the text is in M's. Yep, it's in VW. Wait. 3. No, should be 2.3 M's. There we go. Okay. All right, so these are kind of the same size. Keep it consistent. And I'm liking that. More about us could be a little bit bigger, so maybe 1.5 M. Nope, 1.2 M. Yep. There we go. All right, so it's coming along. Let's publish it and see the responsiveness of it. Maybe I could find this image on Unsplash to get a higher quality image. So while it's doing that, I'm going to go to Unsplash and type in green camera, see if it comes up. No, I don't think I'm gonna find it. But we could use any of these other images because the image I just downloaded isn't high quality. I might just grab one of these other cameras. So green camera, no, it doesn't show up. And that's like a green Camry, don't want that. Okay, we'll come back to it. So let's preview it in the site. So we can already see it is responsive. So as I'm resizing it, this goes to tablet, so it uses pixels, but I can zoom out and we see the text doesn't get larger. So I'm noticing here I didn't use M's for this margin and padding, and we can see what happens to that text. It moves, which is what we don't want. So we'll go back into Webflow, and then here we have to use M's. So this will be let's just do the same thing, 2.5 M's, 2.5 M's, 2.5 M's, and 2.5 M's. So I could do it here. If the screen size is 3000 pixels, it still looks the same, which is one thing I like about the Wizardry method. Yeah, let's see this here. So camera, let's see if I can export this camera. Yeah, perfect. Let's just do JPEG. Instead of PNG. I don't know why I saved this one as PNG. We'll go into Webflow. Let me add that image. Oh, I have it here. We'll add this image. And we'll set it as the background here. So let's add the background. Choose image. Set it to cover, center, and nice. Okay, so that looks good. I feel like this section is too short. So let's adjust the grid. So let's see here. Unless I went like this. No. Let's go back in here. So I would do something like this maybe. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, that's not bad. Cool. So then I'll add an overlay. We'll copy this. And let me add a div block in here. Just add a, let's call this video color overlay. Position absolute and full. Set the video wrapper to relative. We will add this background image or background color and adjust the opacity. Okay, nice. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Just wanted to showcase kind of the power of Grid. For this logo, I would probably just export this as an SVG because it's much easier to import images that are already transformed than trying to transform images or text in Webflow. So, I would just export that as a logo, then import it into Webflow, and then just add an image in here. and choose the image, and then select this logo. For the logo wrapper, give it a flex setting of center, and there we have the logo. It's not the same font, so it's not going to look completely cohesive, but I think that's okay. And this font might be too big, so font size, let's set it to 0.7 or let's see, 1M. Let's see what the style guide is for the paragraph. It's 1M. Okay. Cool. So yeah, it's coming along. We just quickly built that layout. Then on tablet, what I would just do is select the grid, and I would just delete the columns. Or I would actually maybe set it to flex and vertical. Yeah, and then I would mess around with the sizing of each section. So this case study wrapper, you know, I might give it a specific height, 500 pixels or so. Yeah, and then for the hero section, I would set this to auto. And let's see, hero section, hero wrapper. Yeah, we don't want a specific height to this. So let me see, hero section. And yeah, the height, let's see, 200 VH. Well, in any case, I would just mess with this and set it to flex. Not sure why it's not getting taller here. Yeah. Hero wrapper. Maybe this needs to be relative. Yeah. So the hero wrapper needs to be relative. Okay. And then I would, yeah, mess with the heights here. Maybe 400. And next project, something like that. The slide wrapper, maybe 400. Left image wrapper. I might not show this. I don't think we need the left image wrapper. But yeah, that's the idea. I would use Flex on tablet. All right, so yeah, hopefully that was insightful. You know, it's very easy to build these types of layouts in Webflow. Well, I shouldn't say easy, but it can be done using grid. And the one thing I'm not sure I would have done, maybe I would have done differently, is setting this hero wrapper to absolute. I might do like relative and just set it to 100% height. No, that wouldn't work. Maybe 100 VH. Or maybe I would have just absolute and full. Or I could just add the elements to the section, but I don't particularly like setting the display setting to a section. I'd rather add a div block in the section in case I need to add some padding or something like that, or margin. Yeah, in case I need to add margin or padding to the section. But yeah, it's kind of just a practice where I just, you know, just have the section and then put elements in the section, not necessarily give the section a flex or a layout setting. But yeah, that's it for the build. We're gonna move on to Yvonne's super chat, and let's see how this looks here. Yeah, I can zoom out. And okay, so this image has to be in arrow image or case study underscore arrow. This would have to be a width and a height, or the margin would have to be in M's. So let me do 1M, and then let's see how that looks. Yeah, so the arrow has to have a width and a height in M's as well. So let's do 2 M's, maybe 3 M's. Yeah, or 2.5 M's. All right, and then after this, we should have a fully scalable site. So I'm going to zoom out on my browser and notice nothing changes except the logo here. Notice the logo on the left. And why is that? Because we haven't set a width in ems. So let's do that. So logo, or just logo, yeah. See 2 ems, 1.5 ems, 1.8 ems. Okay, cool. Now that should be it. So using the Wizardry method, you can make text scalable, and on a super large screen, this would look the same. So just to demonstrate that, I'm going to copy this. Let's go to Sizzy, and I'll just paste that in there. And this is a laptop small, laptop medium, iMac, Retina. So you don't notice any change because the text is scaling and the images are scaling. I can go on iPad 12.9. We're getting to tablet here, so it does look different. On tablet, the Wizardry method uses, for the body, if we go to the body all pages, it uses 14 pixels for tablet and mobile for the font size. And then on desktop, it uses 1 VW, and that's why you can scale it up. You can scale it up from desktop and up, and it'll retain its proportion and sizes. So super powerful method, and props to Timothy Ricks for providing that. All right, so yeah, I think we're done with this build for today. I might revisit it on Monday, and we can finish out creating the social and the text here and these little design elements. Awesome, so let's go to Yvonne. If you have any questions about what I just did, feel free to post it in the super chat. In the meantime, I'm going to go to Yvonne's super chat. And so Yvonne writes, he created a project using the client-first design system, and it's live, but has some time constraints, and some features had to be migrated from the previous Webflow project. But I would like to discuss how to improve the integration between third-party services like HubSpot, Shellform services, and the asset C curves folder was difficult to use, well for me because of its full width use and requests by the client that it should not scale. Best design practices for a modal full screen when triggered to appear on screen. Okay, let's take a look. All right, wow. Loving it. Good stuff, Yvonne. Very nice. Let me go to the live site. Okay. Wow, that's a cool effect. Very nice. Very nice. So I'm guessing this is a PNG with a transparency. I'm just trying to take a look here. Lottie element. That's a Lottie element. Okay. Nice. This is good stuff. Let's check out the blog. I like the colors, very nice. And the radius on these cards, that's very nice. Okay, so let me get to the question. And let's see. Discuss how to improve the integration between third-party services like HubSpot and Shellform services. So I'm not well versed in third-party integrations like this, Yvonne, but there is a great Webflow video on integrating HubSpot and Webflow. You can just, they have a HubSpot. Let's see, they should have a video. Okay, capturing. So this video here, capturing sales leads with HubSpot CRM. I would watch this video because it could help you with that specific question. It's a pretty straightforward integration. You just have to put some code in the form from HubSpot and you should be good to go. Other than that, I'm not sure I could provide much more insight into that. Just follow the instructions in this video and you should be good to go with HubSpot, and maybe watch a few HubSpot videos to understand their service. But I personally have not worked with HubSpot. I've worked with MailChimp and the regular Webflow form, but you should just be able to go to the form. So let's go to the contact page. If there's one, maybe the book a demo. Is it on the home page? See, book a demo goes to, doesn't go to a page. So yeah, like if you had a contact form, for example, I'm just gonna add one here, just contact form or form. And then you style your form, and then I think HubSpot works with an action link, and then you want to set the method to post, I believe. And yeah, and that should be good to go. So I'll move on to the next question. Let me know if you need any clarification on that. But the next question is, an asset C curves folder was difficult to use. Well, because of its full width use and request by the client that it should not scale. Okay, so let's go to the assets and curves. I mentioned curves. I don't see folders. Let me see here. Okay, here we go, curves. So let's see. An asset was difficult to use for me because of full width. Trend curve, hero curve, integration curve, track curve. Where on the page is this curve image? Let me delete this form. Yeah, if you could direct me to where this image is on the site, Yvonne, that would be helpful. Yeah, it's a nice shadow too. I like that shadow. Nice. Watch video, book a demo. They want the curve to expand full width between the Lottie files. Is this a lot? Okay. To expand full width between the Lottie files. So let's see. Curves. I'm just gonna drag and drop this in here. I want to see what. Okay, I got you. So kind of like creating a line down the site. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. Let me look at the structure here. So we have the page wrapper, the section hero. I didn't use it because I couldn't get it to work. Okay. Let's try to add that curve to radial gradient. Okay. All right, let me try something. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is right, but I'm just trying some things out here. Just to get a feel for what you might be going for. So I'm just setting the curve to just setting it as a background image to the section. as if they connect. Okay. Yeah, I might just try setting it as a background image to the section, and then, it depends on what the curve does. And yeah, okay, great. So I was going to actually mention to use SVG because these lines could be a lot more crisper using SVG. So that we have that one. That looks good. And then what I would do on this one is use this SVG image, and can I rotate it? I don't think I can rotate it. Yeah, I would just maybe flip this SVG, and I think you could get that effect of like going back and forth. Let me try downloading this SVG image to see if we can get that effect going. So let me save as. Okay. So let me open this. And I'm just going to rotate this. We have that. Yeah, I'm just gonna reflect it horizontally. Yeah, click OK. Okay. File, export for screens, line SVG, and export. Okay, now let's go back in here. Can I add? I don't think I can add images. It's a read-only link. Yeah, so that might be oh, it does. No, I can't. Yeah, it's not gonna let me add an image, but I would try that, Yvonne. I tried it too, but it scales from 1 pixel to 2 pixels, and they didn't want to grow. Okay. The SVG scaled. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Okay, I got it. Yeah, there's a piece of code you can use for this. Let me try to find an example where I used it. I know I've used it before. Let's see, set. Let me try it over here. Yeah, so I'm researching the code. There's a piece of code that will let you do this, Yvonne. Retain with. Yeah, I think I know where I used it. Let me try to find this project where I used it and share the code with you, Yvonne. And I'll email it to you. The code, let's see. Just gotta find this project. Here it is. Okay, let's try it. Yeah, vector effect non-scaling stroke. That's it. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do, and I'll try to demonstrate this quickly in Webflow. Actually, let me just use the project I was working on, so I'm not creating so many new projects. I'm just gonna create a new page, create, and yeah, we'll add a section, and we'll just make it a full width section, and I'm gonna add this. You know what? I have to add the path as a well, no, I don't. Okay, let me drag this in here. I just downloaded that SVG line. So this is what you might have to do, Ivan. And let me go back to the chat. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so let me open up. So I'm gonna right click. I'm using Atom, the Atom code editor, to inspect the code of this SVG for a second. And just to see if it's a path. It should be a path, definitely, but we want to make sure. Okay, so let's take a look. And let me view, let me wrap. Okay, so view box style, yep, it's a path. Perfect. So what we can do, I'm gonna add this image as a background, add, choose image, and set it to cover. Okay, so we have this line, and basically, yeah, I'll just kind of demonstrate what you mean. So we have the line, and if I make the browser larger, well, the line's not changing here, or yeah, let's see. Okay, yeah, the line does get a bit wider and smaller. So what you want to do is add this bit of code. I'm going to grab it here, and okay, so it's style path vector effect non-scaling stroke, stroke width. Let's see what the stroke width was initially. You might not need to change this, but in case it does still get smaller, you can use this. Stroke doesn't have a stroke width, but that's fine. Yeah, you can set the stroke width here. Let's try 0.5, and the stroke, I don't need it to be a specific color. Let me try something. See if I can change the color as well. And you could use crisp edges too. Let's see how that works. And let me center this stroke. There we go, that's better. One pixel, okay, let's do that. All right. Still feels like it gets thinner. And I think, yeah, this is where we have to add the SVG as an embed. So let me delete this from the background. I'm going to add an embed element, and I'm going to add the SVG as code. Save and close, and embed. Let's try to set it to position absolute, full, and we might have to move it, something like that. But you can position it that way. So I do think it needs to be an embed, because I don't think we can access the SVG within the file, if that makes sense. Let's try this one more time. and we're a bit over. So if anyone needs to drop out, that's totally cool. Let me clean up my tabs in the meantime. All right, okay. All right, so there's the line. Okay, yep, that's it. And you can remove crisp edges. Crisp edges, it does make it super crisp, but there's also anti-aliasing, I think that's what it's called. It makes it look so crisp that it's almost too crispy. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. And did it change it to blue? No, it didn't change the color. I think to change it to blue, I would need to, let me see, HTML embed. Let's see, view box. Yeah, I could change it here, the stroke color here, within the embed, but we don't need to do that. So yeah. Yeah, no worries, happy to help, Yvonne. Yeah, so just vector effect, non-scaling, and stroke width. So I'll go ahead and send this code over, and I think you should be good to go. You just have to add it to the embed, set it as, you know, behind other elements so it doesn't interfere with the elements in front. And yeah, and then I would just, yeah, like inverse them, like, so it creates kind of this effect of like a line running through the site. It's a really nice effect. And I would move this up. Have you ever thought about doing 1.5 sessions every 2 days? No, 1 hour is plenty for me. Yeah, after 1 hour, I'm just kind of like, I need to work on a few other things, and I know people have other things to do as well, so I don't want to make my streams too long. Even though I do go over an hour sometimes. Yeah, it's taking so long to publish. But anyways, but there we go. We have a line that stays 1 pixel width, no matter how big or small we make the site. You might have to work on the responsiveness of it. I think it's because it's absolute and it's 40%. It moves up like this. So I would just kind of work with the positioning, the layout, you know, how you want to do it. It could be, I don't know if I would, no, not fixed, but yeah, or add some padding. Let me see. I'm not crazy about adding the absolute there. Let's see. No, padding wouldn't work. Yeah, I would kind of work with this here. Yeah, so for sure. For super chat, I'll definitely stay a bit longer, definitely. So let me send Yvonne this code, and yeah, and I'll be happy to help, Gentil, yeah. So sending this your way now, Yvonne. SVG path code. And all right, there you go. All right, hopefully that that helps. Yeah, no worries, Gentel. Go ahead and send your project. The stream's gonna go a bit longer, everyone, because I'm gonna help out here. But yeah, thanks for joining. If you need to drop out, thanks, Yvonne. I appreciate the super chat. Super generous. Same with Gentel. Appreciate it. Yeah, definitely helps me move forward with the streams and continue to provide good content. Yeah, so yeah, I'll make this the cover of my YouTube, of this YouTube video here. Yeah, and super like happy with the progress you've been making, Yvonne. It's really great. So yeah, I'm not sure. You're probably sending it to email, Gentel. And my new template should be out soon, which I just got notification of. Super happy about that. I'm going to be very happy to share this template with you. The YouTube video will be out today. I just have to make sure that it's up, the template. I'm trying to get it so the site doesn't scroll to the bottom on load. Yeah. I feel like I've seen this issue before. Can you send the read-only link, Jintel, to my email? You can just send it through my contact form. Lisbon Web Summit. That sounds important. Lisbon Web Summit. Yep, just go to webdevforyou.com and go to contact and just fill this out here. And it'll go to my email. Wow, yeah, it's important. Yeah, I thought that was Amy Poehler for a second. Parks and Recreation, great show. Good stuff. Yeah, that's awesome, Yvonne. McGuire, yep. Cool. So, yeah, the guy from Apple is going to be there. What's his name? Let me go, Lisbon. Must be a huge summit. Yeah, what's his name? I don't know these guys' names. Craig Federighi. Yeah. Is he Italian? Must be Italian. Yeah. I don't know. All right, awesome. Let me check my email. Should come through in a second. Actually, let me see if my template is in the marketplace. I'm super excited about that. And then I have another template I'm working on right now. There's my dog. Sorry about that. Let's see. Let's look at, there should be a recent, or maybe there isn't. Full templates. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, it's not up yet. But once it's up, I will show it because yeah, excited about that. All right, so here's the site. Jintel. Yeah, I feel like I've seen this before. What is the... wait. I almost had... Why does this happen? I know this. The contact form. Yeah, the contact form. Okay. So the contact form, there must be a setting on it. Wow, I can't believe I remembered that. The support definitely helped working in support. Contact form. So let me create a new page, Jintel, and I will showcase its autofocus on the contact form. So if I add in a form and I have any of these fields set to autofocus, you see this here? So if I click on name or email address and it's set to autofocus, the site will scroll down to the form because it's trying to autofocus on the form as soon as the page loads. So you just need to uncheck that. So if any of these fields have autofocus, just remove it and you should be good to go. Let me know how you go if that fixes it, and I'll stay on just for a bit longer just to make sure we're good to go. It started on 3rd and ended today, Lisbon time. Nice. Cool. Yeah, keep sharing your projects, Yvonne. Super awesome. And John, be a think tank. Yeah, 2 years in support. Like you know, I've seen many different use cases, and you know, pretty much all day working in Webflow. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm happy to be providing this live stream and just helping out. Okay, nice. It's solved. Awesome. If it's published, let me just double check. It's probably not published yet. But that's a cool, I love that effect here. Kevin Hart's What Now executive producer. Nice. Yeah. So great. Looks like everyone's getting some good work. Good stuff. All right. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining. Glad I was able to help Yvonne and Jantel. And today's Thursday, so next live stream is going to be next Monday. And yeah, we're going to have some fun with more design on Monday and building and all that good stuff. So today we covered the Wizardry method again. I built out the layout for this Figma file. This is what it's looking like so far. It is scalable. Oops. So I can scale it. I didn't have autofocus selected. Okay, so it's not autofocus. So let's see. Let's go back into the site. And let me just check something. Form. Okay, something with JS. All right, so yeah, if there's custom code, maybe try removing that just for a moment, Jantel, and that will narrow down if it's the code or if it's something in Webflow. Let me go to the site. Here it is. If there's any custom code, yeah. Let's see. Oh, in view, what's this? That could be doing something. Yeah, try removing this in view code. And yeah, I don't think, what is that? jQuery in view. jQuery in view. As a bindable in view event. Event that some period user report contains method. Yeah, this probably has something to do with it. And you can let me know what you're trying to do with the script, and maybe we can accomplish it just in Webflow without the script. And if you can send me an email, or we can chat through email, Jantel, because I'm gonna go ahead and close the live stream, because it's definitely past 1 o'clock, but we'll follow up via email, Jantel. Just try temporarily removing the custom code to see if that's what's causing it, and we can follow up from there. All right, thanks everyone. Yeah, thanks Sivan, thanks Dylan, ATRN, thanks for joining. Jay, thanks for joining. Tazaware, thanks for joining. Awesome. Have a great weekend, everyone. I think I might watch the Eternals this weekend, so looking forward to that. Other than that, yeah, have a great weekend. Have fun developing and developing in Webflow and designing. And I will see you Monday. Thank you. Peace. Bye.